We may know where these ticks are coming from. The United States has been beset by a major invasion of ticks. And I suppose you know about that. But the heinous thing about it is what these ticks bring. Of course, we know about Rocky Mountain spotted fever. We know about Lyme disease and the allegations for whence Lyme disease may have originated. But there's more to it than that. Now we got this alpha gal disease. How they pick a name like that? Alpha gal? Yeah. And well, it's not just a matter of ticks being engineered, genetically engineered, or whatever the case is. It's also a case of how they get delivered, who distributes these. How is it that so many ticks are showing up? We're seeing pictures, and I'm not going to show them on here because YouTube would probably spank me hard because they're gross. But we've seen the pictures, I'm sure, of wildlife, of cattle that are deceased and just covered, riddled with ticks. It's pretty bad. It's pretty heinous. So, yes, I do believe Gates has got a hand in this. There's more to it than just Gates. Uh, so, actually, this story, the idea for the story is brought to me by a guest that's in the room right now in the chat room, none other than New Days, Old Ways. Because she used to work for a hotel. And as she worked for this hotel, she would talk to these pilots that work for the USDA. And what was their job? They flew all over the United States. There's a lot of flights all over the United States where they drop things off in the forest, where they typically drop off boxes. They've been in this for years. What do they have in them? Bait for raccoons and such. Yeah, it's rabies bait. I guess it's it's a something to prevent rabies. And they're trying to kill a lot of these raccoons and skunks. Uh, so this is something to pay attention to. So on one hand, you may have Billy Goat Gates involved, and we do know he's been involved in genetic research for ticks. He's put something like $7 million in this at least. There's that old adage, follow the money. Who would want to be behind something like this? Of course, people with the money. Well, I got a shocker. The NIH, there's a paper published, National Institute of Health, where a researcher claims it would be immoral to stop alpha gal disease. Immoral to stop a disease predicated upon the notion that beef is evil. You see where we're coming from? Does this sound familiar? This is published on the NIH. I'm going to show you this. So there are national organizations. And there was a videotape like 10 years ago where a guy is on there talking about, well, it would be great. We get this problem with cows and beef and environment, and we need to get rid of cows because cow toots was going to destroy the world. If that's true, we should give the environmentalist of the Millennium Award to Wild Bill Cody for wiping out all them infernal buffaloes. It's probably their fault. The whole ice age ended, right? If he had done that, he saved the entire universe, apparently. Yeah, this stuff is absurd. The absurdity of these people that put out, there were millions and millions of buffaloes, a lot more buffaloes than there are cattle today. And yet, a few little cow toots is going to end the world as we know it. So we got to get rid of beef. People got to stop eating beef. Even if it makes them sick, that's a good thing. That's what that tape was saying. So this guy was kind of promoting the idea of getting this alpha gal disease out. This is about 10 years ago on the internet. Some of you may have seen that video. So yeah, ticks are really bad. Oral rabies vaccines. Yeah, they're trying to vaccinate a lot of these animals. Sometimes I think they're putting out bait, poison bait too. But a lot of it is to vaccinate them. They want to cut down the population of raccoons and skunks, but they want to vaccine them. So, and who loves that kind of stuff? Billy Goat. We'll just call him Billy Goat. I think that's a better name for Billy Goat. Billy Goat Gates. So, now we've seen that the UN panel on climate change has come out and said, oh, well, pardon us, never mind. There wasn't such an emergency anyway. Yet we're still seeing article after article and item after item posted that's claiming that, oh, everything happens is if you stump your toe, it's because of climate change. It's because of climate change. You stumped your toe. Everything that happens. We got a big super El Nino coming up, and this they're going to blame that on climate change too. It's part of a cyclic thing. And there was a super El Nino back in 1877. I guess that was climate change too, right? Yes, but no, everything they can blame on climate, and they're still doing it. Even after the IPCC come out, the International Panel on Climate Change, and from the UN, it's we made a mistake. Don't worry, roll over, go back to sleep. It's not as bad as we thought. They still do this. Yeah, they use methane. It's all about control. It's all about control. They want to put you in 15-minute cities, live in ISO shipping containers right by the railroad track. You know what that's for? Riding around on your little tricycles, eating the bugs while they jet around in their private jets, munching on steak and caviar. Oh, yeah, they eat steak too, but they don't want you eating it. So you can bet they're not going to be playing in the woods where they might get a tick bite. The nefarious tick that carries this is the Lone Star tick. And boy, is it spread. All these ticks are spreading. Possibly connected to deer. I don't know if it's connected to the chronic wasting disease in deer, but that's a whole nother story. Because they would transport these deer that had this to various facilities to study them and put them in like fences that were like cattle fences. And guess what? These deer jump out. And these deers have jumped out. A lot of these facilities, non-infected deer, transported places that did not have chronic wasting disease. Why? They don't want you hunting. They don't want you eating meat. And Oregon is trying to pass laws to ban hunting and fishing. Oregon, right now, trying to pass laws to ban hunting and fishing. Well, they promised you they wouldn't do all this kind of stuff. They promised you that, oh, we want to take only, black rifles bad. We only want to take out the black rifles. And that's some kind of racist. Oh, yeah. Black rifles bad. So that's what they're doing, and oh, well, we're not going to take everything else. Sure, you won't be able to hunt and fish. Wink, wink. Now trying to outlaw hunting and fishing. So, we got people out there from a certain political party that want to throw the borders wide open, allow the gangs to come running in this country. They want to cut down law enforcement, take your way means to defend yourself away, all at the same time. To me, that's back guano crazy. If you agree with me, that's back guano crazy. Put a 2 in the chat room. If you don't agree with it, put a 1 in the chat room. I put that kind of stuff on Facebook, and the liberals argue with me. They fight me over posts like that. It's like, are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. Anyway. Gates can sell his bug meat. Yeah, bug meat. And they want you eating some bugs and his fake meat. And his fake meat takes more energy to process than a cow to grow out. And it's not safe. They put all kind of crap in it. But that's what they want you to eat. That's nothing. They want to take you off your, there's a lot of liberals who are homesteaders who grow organic gardens. They think they're doing great and wonderful stuff. They don't realize that the socialistic policies they promote is part of that. You will own nothing. Remember the WEF? You'll have no privacy. You will own nothing, and you're going to be own nothing. They're going to take you off your land. Collectivization, just like the Russians did, except they're not going to have a bunch of collectivized peasants returning back to the farms and farm. Oh, no, it's going to be big ag. Big ag. And they're going to run that stuff through the big factories and push out all kind of clap that they're going to try to feed you with, just like what they're feeding you with today out of these factories. All this processed food. It's full of glyphosate, full of grazon. Explain to me how that's good for you. And now they're trying to limit lawsuits. Common sense versus globalist. You got it right. You got that right. Amen to that. So that's what they want to do to us, guys. So this whole thing is follow the money. Who makes the money from this? You got to realize Billy Goat has a high degree of ownership in all of the fake meat companies, even the so-called competitors. He's bought into all of them. Imagine that. And he's also funded vaccines for ticks. Excuse me, tick research, DNA. Of course, you look for on the internet, you search the AIs, they're going to, oh, well, it was just, that it just follows what the articles say. Oh, it was all just for this purpose. You think they're going to come out and tell you if they're trying to spread alpha gal? You think they're going to come out and tell you that? If you think that they're going to just come out and tell you that, put a 3 in the chat room. If you think that the articles that they put about this are whitewash, put a 4 in the chat room. I mean, I've seen some of the articles. I would say it's whitewash. That's my sense on it. That's my sense. On one hand, we got to worry about the Chinese. On the other side, we got to worry about the globalists. But they both are promoting certain political elements in this country. Mm-hmm. And these people, they think what they're doing is so good. And they're also worried about cow toots because cow toots are going to wipe out the world. And because cow toots can wipe out the world, you need to be allergic to it. And oh, yeah, we've already got people who are no longer among us because they got their fungus, their disease. It's not a fungus, it's an allergy. But, this has already cost some lives. We know of at least a couple, but there are probably a lot more. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to show you some articles on this stuff. Oh, who is it that might be spraying this stuff? I'm not spraying it. Who might it be that's dropping off ticks? Maybe they're mixing boxes. Some of the boxes are bait boxes for raccoons, for rabies vaccinations, but they may also be some tick boxes slipped in. And the guys flying the plane probably don't even know it. They're just flying. They're not loading this cargo. They're just flying and tossing stuff out. They got a pilot and a co-pilot and 2 people that throw the stuff overboard on all these aircraft. That's what New Day told me. 4 pilots per plane. And these planes are all over the United States flying around, dropping off boxes. I kid you not. New Day's told me about this. She's seen it. Gase can sell his bug meat to the people infected with ticks. Yeah, sure. He'd love to do that. And his other factory fake meat, which mostly comes from soy. You want to be a soy boy? It's got hormones that mimic estrogen, just like what's in a lot of our plastics, because they don't want men to be men. No wonder we got so many issues today in our society. Too many chemicals have been pumped in us. It's worse in the cities where most of you liberals are. There's also a phenomenology called the mouse utopia, which fits with that too. I'm going to have to cover that in a future video. Mouse utopia. So guys, we're going to talk about ticks. We're going to talk about which ones are which mean the ticks. We're going to talk about mini ticks, politics, yeah. A lot of bloodsuckers. All right, let's get into it. Let's go in. I'm going to share some articles here. Give me a second. Ding, 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 ding. Here we are. First, though, we do have breaking news on the war front. This is not a war video. I'm not going to go into depth about everything going on with Iran and Russia and Ukraine, but I am going to mention this. There was a Shahed drone from Russia, struck an apartment complex in Romania. And that's a picture right there, right on top of it, burning. And apparently 2 people were injured. So they had more consequence to this than the Blue Origin explosion that took place earlier tonight, which was a much bigger explosion, but they had people away from the pad. That's what you do when you're doing a hot fire. You don't have people around the pad. Uh, so Russia made that mistake with their N-1 rocket. They had their chief rocket engineer made them sit right there next to the rocket, and it took them out. They lost a lot of their head engineers because of that mistake. Fortunately, Blue Origin was smarter than that. But anyway, I just did a video on my Galactic Greg's channel about that incident that happened tonight. If you've not seen that, go over there and watch it on Galactic Greg's. I was very careful not to say the word Blue Origin in the title of that video because I don't want them doing searches or PR guys doing searches on the internet. So who's covered it, what's out there, and discovering one of their contractors. That could be that can make my new job very short term. Might be anyway because of the ramifications of what comes out of this. Hope not. Allergic to politics. That's a good one, you knew. That's a good one. Politics is icky. Any kind of ticks are icky, but many bloodsuckers don't it fit? Don't it? I haven't heard anybody else say it. Maybe somebody's picked that up from me because I've said it a lot of times. But so the Shahed drone from Russia struck this building. Now Romania is a NATO nation. Will there be blowback? 2 injured. Will there be blowback from this? This isn't the first drone from Russia that went into Romania. It's the first one that caused damage. First one that hit a building. First one that injured people. You can bet NATO's at least going to protest it. So what's going to come out of that? There'll be a lot of hot air, if nothing else. A lot of finger pointing. It's going to be interesting. So like I said, there is now a confirmed case of someone passing away from alpha gal, but this is not recent. This is, look, last year, November 2025. And my research suggests there's a couple of people, and then there's several unconfirmed cases, because you're not always going to know. I mean, they're not testing for this specifically. 47-year-old New Jersey man. Apparently he died in 2024 after eating beef with symptoms starting 4 hours after his meal. That's the thing about this. It don't hit you all at once. It hits you later. We're going to go into that in a little bit. The problem is, let's see, the important information of the public is first serve. You get severe abdominal pain occurring 3 to 5 hours after eating beef, pork, or lamb. And some people just eating a dairy product like cheese, butter. Here's the problem. We know that butter is healthier for you than margarine. Big Ag wanted to push margarine, but actually butter is healthier for you. And so now some people return to cooking with butter, rightfully so. However, if you got this disease and you eat butter or something containing butter, you might be in severe trouble. So, and you may not even know you've got this. There's the problem. There's the rub. And this is what these guys want to spread and then tell us it's morally wrong to stop it. I kid you not. National Institute of Health. You know, these doctors that take the Hippocratic oath. Yeah, it's called what? Hippocratic? No, it's hypocritic. When they can take a stance like that, put politics over medicine, there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with the whole system. We should know that by now. So on the other hand, most individuals who have mild to moderate episodes of hives can control symptoms with an appropriate diet. What are they talking about here? So they're going on about this. The man had no recent tick bites. He just thought he had some chigger bites. He had no clue he had this, and yet it cost him his life. So there you are. This guy had no clue. Thought everything was fine. That's the way they want it to be. That's how they want it. So I kid you not. Beneficial blood sucking. I'm going to show you this article in a little bit. I'm going to show it to you. That's what they titled it. Now, here's a lady who can't eat Let me see if I can get the sound back on. I got to make a couple of adjustments so we can maybe hear this. I got to mute this before I do. Oh, that is muted. Good. Okay. Got to move my screen. I got a little pop-up window. I wish I could shut this pop-up window down. It won't let me do it. All right, now I'm going to unmute my computer so I can play video. So I have to mute my computer when I first come on, or you're going to hear an echo, 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 me talking. So this woman can't even use toothpaste. Get this. Get a load of this. Hang on.
A tick stole my cheeseburger and my pizza and my toothpaste.
The volume is so low.
You think I'm kidding or not? Bitten by the Lone Star tick, and it gave me something called alpha gal, which made me deathly allergic to all mammal products.
I have to read the letters. I can't even hear it.
Predates to them. I was never going to serve it at dinner party anyway. I have had to change every single thing in my house, as well as almost everything I eat. So if you find that intriguing or terrifying, or you just want to hold on to your own cheeseburger, follow me. A tick stole my cheeseburger.
Tick stole her cheeseburger and her pizza. She can't even eat butter, cheese. All right. Let's see if we can play this. I don't know why the sound is so low. Got it turned all the way up. Could y'all hear her? Tell me if you could actually hear her. I don't know if it pre-existed or not, but it was nowhere near the numbers it's at today. We do know that. Nothing near. I mean, we never even heard of this till 10 years ago. Then it's really spread since then. So I hope we can hear this video.
There's a major tick problem going on. A new study came out a few months ago, and they literally found alpha-gal syndrome, the incidence of alpha-gal syndrome, the allergy to red meat from the Lone Star ticks, skyrocketed up 10,000%.
10,000%.
In just 10 years. And then
10,000% in 10 years. That's not natural. That is not natural. Now, the ticks in his hand, this one right here in the middle is the one you got to worry about, the one with that little white dot on it. That's your Lone Star tick. That's a dog tick there. That particular tick don't bite people too much. We'll go into this in a minute.
We looked at 2021 to 2024, it jumped up another 300%, another sharp increase. So
then there's another 300% on top of the 10,000. So you have to multiply that. 300 times 10,000. That's 3,000,000%. This is nuts, guys. So it went from almost non-existent to it's got like 450,000 Americans infected with it.
Going on, something is driving these ticks.
Is that
something is driving these ticks?
the left is blaming it on climate change? I know you're.
Yeah, climate change. Everything is climate change. You stumped your toe. That was climate change.
An epidemiologist, but is that normal with an illness that's been around for a long time, like alpha gal, to just suddenly be everywhere at the same time?
No, we do not believe this is actually from climate change. In fact, we have to start looking at government-related or NGO-related laboratory activities, especially given
government-related, NGO-related.
$7 million to a biotech company to make genetically engineered ticks, as well as the U.S. Army released 270,000 radioactive labeled ticks into the wild in the 1960s. And FBI, they got to figure out if there are any illegal bioterror related activities resulting in this 10,000% rise in alpha gal. We can't let this go on. We got to stop it. We got to find out why.
All right, I got a problem with my editor here. It's wanting me to do something. Get that editor off. Okay. Now let's try to shrink this.
Major tick problem.
Look at this graph. It just shows it from 2013 to 2025, just shooting straight up. And here it was 94,000 or something like that. Now we know that there's 450,000 people that's got this. That's 500,000 almost, and expanding fast. You can see it's worst in the Northeast. Hello, New Days. Southeast, second worst. Midwest, and then the West. I mean, how's it even get out here? Those ticks aren't even here. All right, I'm going to shrink that one down. Now let's go back over here. This is the paper I was telling you about. Where is it published? National Library of Medicine of the NIH. Who's the NIH? The National Institute of Health. The National Institute of Health, which is U.S. government. See, it's got a .gov. Oh, yeah, you remember where Dr. Auchi used to be? Oh, yeah, Dr. Auchi. Oh, yeah, so this paper published by Parker Crutchfield and Blake Harris. And when was it published? 2025 in October, just a few months ago. So even when Trump is president, there are still agencies that do what they want to do. There is still a state that's somewhat on the deeper end of the spectrum, if you know what I'm talking about. You got to watch what I say on there. Got to watch what I say. Abstract. Now, this is published on a government website, so I should be able to read it without having to worry about getting a strike on this. This is a government published document. The bite of the Lone Star tick spreads alpha-gal syndrome, AGS, a condition whose only effect is the creation of a severe but non-fatal, we already know that's not true, red meat allergy. In fact, that person passed away before this article was written, and there's been a few others apparently too. Public health departments warn against Lone Star ticks and AGS, and scientists are working to develop an inoculation to AGS. Herein, we argue that if eaten meat is morally impermissible, get that, if eaten meat is morally impermissible, this is on a U.S. government website, then efforts to prevent the spread of tick-borne AGS are also morally imprehensible. Guys, can you believe this? Here it is. Let me highlight this. Then efforts to prevent the spread of tick-borne AGS are also morally impermissible. This is from your U.S. government. This is from your scientists. This is from your doctors. This is from your medical organization. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? After explaining the symptoms of AGS and how they're transmitted via ticks, we argue that tick-borne AGS is a moral bioenhancer if and when it motivates people to stop eating meat. I'm going to eat my meat. I'm going to eat my red meat. This makes me furious. Furious. Now, that the U.S. government, NIH, would put this and publish it on a .gov website. This is on the .gov website. Do you think maybe there's somebody inside the USDA that's participating in the tick program, maybe getting a little money from Billy Goat, that would put this stuff out there? What do you think? Nuno, I wholly agree with you. This does not fall within the definition of morals. I guarantee you, I'm probably going to post this on my Facebook page, and there will be liberals who will side with this. There will be liberals who attack me for posting it. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. It happens all the time. Yeah, where's the beef? Well, we know who published this. Oh yeah, what was this lady back here? One of these articles back here, they're talking about, oh, this is just what the New World Order, what the WEF wants you to have. Oh yeah, this woman can't even use toothpaste. Bioweapon ticks are destroying lives, and it's exactly what the WEF wanted. I keep telling you guys, try not to support the WEF. Every time you buy a product, most of these products in the store, that's exactly who you're supporting. And why is that? Here's why. Do a little self-promotion here. Because over 550 consumer brands are controlled by just 12 corporations. And these 12 corporations are controlled by the asset management companies, chiefly BlackRock, which is run by the same man, Larry Fink, who today runs the WEF. If you go to the WEF website and look up their partners program, you'll discover it's these corporations that pay for that craziness, that pay for all that planning for 15-minute cities, that pay for you will have no privacy, you will own nothing, and you'll be happy while you eat the bugs. So you just keep buying this junk. That's who you support. Every time you spend $1 for any of this junk here, that's who you're supporting. Not only that, you're getting filled with chemicals and heavy metals. Covered that in the past. Here's your 3 asset management companies. BlackRock being the chief one. Larry Fink started it. He runs that company, and today he runs the good old House of Klaus. But you can get away from it. Here's one way you can fight back. We're going to talk about some other ways. Quit buying their junk. Quit buying and using their poison. I come up with a way you can switch away from it with switchwithgreg.com. It's my website. We got a company here. It's a family-owned company, not part of that big corporate conglomerate whatsoever. Not at all. Non-toxic products don't have all that chemical crap in it. Tested extensively for safety. All made here in America. Supporting American jobs. Find out more about it. All you got to do to get in on this is just fill out this form, hit submit. This goes straight to me. I created this website and I share it with the lady, Lisa, who's helping me bring people on board with this. She's a member of the community. Good lady. You totally trust Lisa. Your information is safe with us. So come in here and you can fill out this form. You got a chance to not support these guys who are trying to do us in, apparently. Trying to force us to eat Z-bugs. All right, let's go back to this. We're going to talk a little bit about the alpha gal and all that kind of stuff. Fatalities directly attributed are extremely rare, it says here, but we don't always know. There's a 47-year-old man mentioned here that we just saw about. There's undocumented suspected cases. Well, that case is the first officially confirmed and published in medical literature. Allergy experts note that a handful of other unconfirmed deaths following meat consumption are strongly suspected to be caused by AGS. And yeah, that you know what wipe who publishes in the NIH on the .gov website a paper, saying oh, it's harmless. Right. Taking away my right to eat red meat is not harmless. Because I'm going to tell you something. That's one of the top pleasures in life, in my book. Yeah, okay. Last call was a good tick repel, but it gives you can. We're going to talk about some ways to prevent ticks here. We're going to try to cover the waterfront here a little bit. More than 10 deaths, a higher number of fatalities have occurred, though medical exposures rather than food, well, we don't know. This is just getting started. And once you got it, you got it for life. And most people that caught it just caught this stuff. I mean, it's recent. So I don't mean that, one day you eat something that's got some butter in it, bang, you're done for. Problem is it don't hit you all at once. It hits you hours later, usually when you're in bed. That's the scary part. It's typically hidden 3 to 6 hours after eating meat. Patients often suffer from severe abdominal pain, vomiting, and breathing issues without realizing they are experiencing a life-threatening allergic reaction. Your reaction is life-threatening. So just because it hasn't, we don't have a lot of confirmed cases yet, don't mean it's not going to cause a lot of trouble. CDC estimates up to 450,000 Americans have been infected by AGS due to widespread underdiagnosis. So we don't really know. So they're advising to carry an EpiPen. If you got it, well, you're going to be forced to do some dietary changes. Thank you, Billy Goat Gates, and that wipe over there that wrote that article. Let's go back to that. Let's go back over here because maybe we need to know these names. Parker Crutchville, Blake Harris. Might be worth looking up. These guys think it's good. Wow. Wow. That is heinous. That is heinous. And now here we're talking about the Billy Goat Foundation. Actively funds research into ticks and tick-borne diseases. However, a common point of confusion as the target of this funding. Yeah, right. Like I said, you tell me, if you think they would tell you what they're really working on, put a 5 in the chat room. If you think they're going to have a cover story, put a 6 in the chat room. And I've been seeing many numbers come across the chat room tonight. What's up, guys? If you think they're going to tell you they're working on this stuff, put a 5 in the chat room. If you think that there's going to be a cover story, put a 6. I want to see what you guys think. Talk to me. My Brahmer's peppermint soap. Yeah, cedar oil. Cedar oil. Ticks do not like cedar oil. If you can mix in a little cedar oil, that would be a good thing. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funds agricultural and veterinary research focused on controlling the Asian blue tick. Yeah, right. I got this article link from New Days here. National Rabies Management Program Overview. So they're dropping stuff off to take care of raccoons, skunks, foxes, and bats. Oh, rabies is invariably fatal. What else are they dropping off? How do these tick boxes get distributed all over the country? Who could do it? Well, USDA, these same guys right here, they could do it. They're already dropping stuff off. Are they doing it? I'm not saying they are, but I would say I would consider them a suspect. Even though specific tick species found in regions of the United States does not mean that it transmits specific diseases. We got surveillance maps here where ticks live. So we're going to look at this, the different ticks. This is the American dog tick right here. And it can carry, well, it's rarely in the Rocky Mountains. A little bit up here in Colorado. So it's rarely in the Rockies, but somewhat. This is where your American dog tick is located. Now we got a West Wilkeston tick out here, which is apparently it's a variant of the dog tick. But what do these ticks transmit? Tilameria and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Rocky Mountain music up in Colorado, maybe up here around Jellystone. Back there. Now, we got this Asian longhorned tick. Because the front legs are long. And so this tick appears to be less attracted to humans. That's good. Don't tell us a lot about what it carries or where it's at. Maybe it's not a big problem. Then we got the black leg tick. See, the legs are black. Were found widely distributed, transmits Anaplasm, phagocytophilum, or anaplasmosis. They got babiosis, Lyme disease, hard tick relapse and fever, Lyme disease, and Powassan virus disease. So this isn't a black-leg tick, is something to watch out for. And it's all over the east. All over the east. Then we got the brown dog tick. And it also carries Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And this thing is everywhere. This tick is all over the United States of America. We got the Gulf Coast tick. Well, guess where that would be found? It has a form of spotted fever. Well, up the Mississippi River Valley, I guess it likes water and wet, humid places. It is all through Oklahoma, eastern Nebraska. Not in Appalachia so much. Gulf Coast tick. And then the one we worry about right here, this is it, the Lone Star tick. It's got that one white spot right dead center of its back. Now, once it swells out, this is toward the front of the tick because it bloats out with blood. I'm going to show you the map. Of course, this one transmitted bourbon virus, whatever that is, Heartland virus, tularemia, and alpha-gal syndrome. And this tick is found all over the eastern part of the United States. So how's alpha-gal getting out in the west? It's going to be mostly in these areas. But they showed alpha-gal across the United States. How does that happen? So if you're in these areas, you better watch out for this alpha-gal. That's the one that scared me the most, even more than Lyme disease, because I love my red meat. Absolutely love it. Rocky Mountain wood tick. Again, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Colorado tick fever, and tularemia. This thing gets almost down to where I'm at, but not quite. It's really a Rocky Mountain critter. Western black-legged tick. So we got another black-legged tick. And it carries that anaplasma phagocytophilum, the anaplasmosis, Lyme disease. That's out west. Now, Lyme disease started over here. How does a tick back on this side of the country suddenly start transmitting Lyme disease? How does that happen? And where did Lyme disease first occur? Lyme, New York, I believe. Right across the bay from that U.S. bio research facility, biolab. Anyway, there's your tick. So yeah, there's one tick that's not in here. The loony tick. That would be the loony tick. The loony tick is not in here. That's billy goat. So let's look at this alpha-gal syndrome here. We know it's the tick. The tick bites the saliva containing the alpha-gal sugar molecules and go into the bloodstream. Because humans do not naturally produce the sugar, the immune system can flag it as a dangerous invader and create aggressive antibodies to it. And if you get it, you got to avoid beef, pork, lamb, venison, goat, lard, tallow. A lot of foods got tallow in them now. And foods cooked in animal fat. Best way to cook, gelatin, which is derived from animal collagen. No more Jell-O. And for some sensitive individuals, dairy products like milk, cheese, and butter. They say you can eat birds, reptiles, and fish, chicken and turkey and eggs. I hate turkey. Except I'll eat it Thanksgiving, but outside of that, I just don't care. Rodents carry ticks. That's true. That's true. So here's what you really got to know. There's a delay. Like most allergies, like your shellfish allergies, they hit you all at once, but not the alpha gal. It's got a delay. Most food allergies trigger a reaction within minutes. Alpha gal reactions are delayed, like 2 to 6 hours after eating, like maybe when you're in bed, the worst place to be, you're asleep. Suddenly you can't breathe. How do you react then? The reason it takes hours for the body to digest mammalian fat and release the alpha gal sugars into the bloodstream. Because of this, see, that's what happens. It makes your body want to attack. That's what the tick bite does, the alpha gal sugars. And so suddenly they get released in your bloodstream hours after eating. And because of this, someone might eat a burger at 6 p.m. and wake up at midnight with a severe reaction, never realizing the burger was the cause. So what do you get? Hives, itching, intense red rashes, severe abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, swelling of the lips, tongue, throat, and eyelids. And you could be choked off from swelling of the throat. Anaphylaxis, however you say that, anaphylaxis, a severe life-threatening reaction that constricts the airways and causes a dangerous drop in blood pressure. Currently, there's no cure for the alpha-gal syndrome. And those stupid wipes that wrote over there on the NIH.gov want to make sure nobody develops a cure. Primary management strategy is strictly avoiding mammalian meat products. But how do you do that entirely? How do you do that entirely? So what do? Keeping ticks off you is a multi-layered defense. Ticks don't jump or fly. They sit on the tips of the grass, leaves, bushes. And when you walk by this is called questing according to shrubs. When you walk by, they get on you. Waiting for a person or animal to brush past so they can latch on and crawl upwards looking for bare skin. To stop them, treat your gear, dress defensively, and do post-adventure cleanup. Check for ticks after you're outdoors. Armor your gear, and here they're talking about just for your clothes, using this permethrin. And this is the single most effective weapon against ticks, according to this article, or this, not article, but this is Gemini AI. Unlike regular bug sprays that you put on your skin, permethrin is an insecticide meant only for clothing, boots, and outdoor gear, like tents or backpacks. How it works. When a tick touches permethrin-treated fabric, its nervous system is instantly disrupted. It experiences a hot foot effect and drops off and dies shortly afterwards. Wherever it gets on, it just drops off. Application: spray your boots, socks, pants, and shirts and outdoor gear. Let them dry completely before wearing them. A single treatment lasts about 6 washings. It's pretty durable. Permethrin is highly toxic to cats when wet. Once it's completely dried on the fabric, it's perfectly safe to have around them. But keep your feline friends away while spraying and drying. Dress defensively. And here they're saying, pull your socks up over your pants. They say you look like a dork, but it's worth doing. Wear light hose. Why? Because ticks are dark brown. It makes it easier to see them if you're wearing light colored clothes. Tuck in your shirt. Protect your skin. Repellents. They suggest using DEET, Picardin, and IR 3535, whatever the heck that is. And here's one, guys, that I like better. Oil of lemon, how you say that? Eucalyptus. Oil of lemon eucalyptus, a great plant-based option if you prefer natural repellents, which that's what I'm all about right there. Post-hike protocol. If you go on a hike, it says it doesn't end when you walk through your front door. You strip down within 2 hours. As soon as you come inside, strip off your clothes, check your clothes immediately for ticks crawling in clothes. I've seen ticks crawling on clothes. Blast in the laundry in high heat 10 minutes, because a high heat will dehydrate and kill the ticks. Take a shower immediately. Wash within 2 hours of coming indoors to reduce your chance of tick-borne illness. Conduct a full body check. That's one everybody should know about. So if you find a tick that's already attached to your skin. Now, see, this is not what they typically tell you. This is different. It takes 24 to 48 hours for attachment to transmit the disease. So you don't get the disease as soon as it bites you. That's good news. Get that tick off as soon as you can. Yourself, your pets. The correct way to murder a tick. Forget the old wives' tales like suffocating a tick with petroleum jelly, painting it with nail polish, or burning it with a hot match. And I've tried that, and it never worked. I've tried that several times. Didn't work. These methods can stress the tick, cause it to regurgitate its stomach contents and saliva into your bloodstream, which increases your risk of infection. So don't burn it. Use fine-tipped tweezers. Do not use blunt nose household tweezers if you can avoid it. They can crush the tick's body. Use fine-tipped tweezers with a precise grip. And that's one thing I like about the tweezers. It comes on the Swiss Army knife. But, you know, they get tweed up. This one I've lost them all. That's one problem. They drop out. I got a couple others. I got the tweezers in, but not that one. Excuse me. But yeah, they come with plastic toothpick and tweezers. Those are real fine tip. Maybe not big enough though. But for a small tick, it should work. Grasp close to the skin. I mean, I get right at the skin when I do it. Place the tips of the tweezers as close to your skin surface as possible, right around the tick's mouth parts. Pull straight up, steady pressure. Pull upward with smooth, steady motion. Do not twist, jerk, or wiggle the tick. Twisting can break off its mouth parts, leave them embedded in your skin. Clean the area. Once the tick is out, thoroughly clean the bite site with your hands and with rubbing alcohol or iodine scrub and soap and water. I always got the alcohol in a spray bottle. And I keep these bottles everywhere. In my vehicles, over here, over there in the kitchen, work areas. What if the head breaks off? If the mouth parts break off and remain in the skin, don't panic. Try to remove them gently with tweezers. If you can't get them out easily, leave them alone and let the skin heal. The mouth parts alone cannot transmit disease. Your body will eventually push them out like a splinter. It's them regurgitating their stomach into you that gives you the disease. Boric acid is safe for people. Yes, that's true. What to do with the tick afterwards? Never crush the tick with your bare fingers, as exposure to the fluids can transmit disease if you have any cuts in your hands. Instead, utilize one of these options. Place the tick in a sealable bag or a small container and slightly dampen with a paper towel to keep it from drying out. Yeah, I use alcohol. I'm going to kill a sucker. Or burn it. I like to burn them. Put alcohol and then burn them. Write the date and location that you think you picked up the tick. So what they're trying to get you to take the tick in and get it tested. That's not a bad idea. Put it in a plastic bag, put some moisture in it so it won't dry out entirely, but make sure that bag is sealed and the thing can't get out. I put that bag in a bottle and we'll screw top. I don't want that tick coming out if it's live. You can use services like Tick Reporter, Tick Check, or a state university extension program to mail the tick in for testing. I mean, I always just killed them. Option 2, document it digitally. If you don't want to pay for a lab test, you can use crowdsourced tracking apps like Tick Spotters by University of Rhode Island. You can upload a photo of the tick, and experts will identify the species, estimate how long it was attached, and tell you what symptoms to watch for based on your geographic location. Option 3, my favorite one, submerge it in rubbing alcohol. Flush it down the toilet. I don't have a toilet. I got a bucket. Wrap it tightly in tape and throw it in the trash. Man, I'm burning that sucker. What to watch for? 30-day winter. Keep a close eye on the bite site and overall health for 30 days after the bite. See a doctor immediately if you develop a rash. Keep an eye out for expanded red rash. While Lyme disease often creates a distinct bullseye rash, a rash from a tick bite Could also be a solid expanded red circle. Flu-like symptoms, fevers, chills, uh, aches and joint pain, fatigue, and a headache. Visit your doctor if you were recently bitten by a tick when it happened, and tell them what part of the country we're in, things like that. So let's talk about getting one big area where you get ticks is in your backyard. Somebody mentioned that they like rodents. Well, yeah, where rodents, rats, squirrels, even deer, where they go, is all places the ticks can go, especially around fence lines at the edge of your garden. That's a big area. You got a lot of underbrush there, something to think about. Make your backyard as hostile an environment to ticks. Comes down to managing two things: moisture and wildlife. They like moisture. And of course, they're spread by wildlife. They don't like it out in the open sun, by the way. They like to be under bushes. Ticks dry out and die easily, very quickly in dry, sunny conditions. They thrive in shady, damp areas with a dense ground cover. By strategically modifying your landscape, you can establish a clear boundary between tick territory and your lawn. People only got 62 in the house. I want to cover some good advice here. I don't have a lot of people watching. That's pretty pathetic. Only 62 people. Yeah, if my headline was Russia attacks NATO nation, yeah, which I did mention that. Probably would have had a lot more people here tonight. But this is more important to you. This is actionable to you. Something to watch out for. Create a landscaping barrier. If your property borders wooded areas, tall brush fills, ticks will naturally try to migrate into your lawn. Boy, I had that. You can stop them in their tracks by building a physical moat. Now, here they show using wood chips. Actually, ticks kind of like wood chips too, especially when they're moist. Some people prefer to use rocks. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to take a little difference with the AI here. Use rocks if you can. 3-foot rule. Lay down a 3-foot wide barrier that says of wood chips, bark, mulch, or no. It says or gravel. Bingo. Along the perimeter where your lawn meets the woods. Why it works, it creates a physical desert for the ticks because wood chips or gravel heat up and dry out in the sun. If they do, but a lot of times wood chips are going to start decaying, they're going to get moist. It might be good at first, but for long term, no. Ticks cannot cross them, dehydrating or dying, and also serves as a visual reminder for kids and pets to stay out of the woods. Are you kidding me? That's always the first place I went as soon as school was out. I was in the woods. And that's the way I grew up, in the woods. Implement a tick-safe zone strategy. You can drastically reduce your risk. But I'm gonna mention something that's not in these articles a little bit. My own tick. Guys, my property in Alabama had lots of ticks. And they didn't bite me. Very, very rarely. Now, the people who work for me in the worm farm, they were getting bit by ticks all the time. But not me. You don't know why? I ate garlic. Bloodsuckers, vampires, and ticks alike do not like garlic. I ate a lot of garlic and onions. And I think that helps. I think that helps. Tick-free zone strategy. Reduce your risk by zoning your backyard based on exposure. Keep areas you use the most in full sun away from optimal tick habitats. Here's your full sun. Here's your tick habitats. They're showing a pathway there of, I would say, use gravel, rock. More frequently, keep your grass cut short. Now, that's something I never like doing. Long grass retains morning dew and creates a humid microclimate at the soil level that ticks love. Short grass allows the sun to bake the soil dry. Move play equipment. Place swing sets, decks, patios, and fire pits in sunny areas in the yard. Keep them at least 10 foot away from yard edges, trees, and bushes. Clear the litter, remove leaf piles, fallen branches, and dense ground cover plants like, I don't know what that is, English ivy. These provide perfect cool, damp shelter for ticks to survive. How many people got ivy going up beside the house? It's so pretty. I don't know. Disrupt the host network. Ticks don't travel into your yard or the city they hitch a ride on. Mice and deer. Yeah, your rodents. We mentioned rodents. Target for rodents. Yeah, how about rodent traps? While deer are cats. That's my tech. That's what I got. Cats. This place had rats running on there. Well, rats and mice till I put the cats out here. No more. While deer carry adult ticks, white-footed mice are actually the primary source that infects young ticks with Lyme disease. Keep firewood stacked neatly in dry, sunny areas off the ground to eliminate mouse nesting sites. Keep bird feeders away from the house as drop seeds attract rodents. Deter deer. If deer frequent your yard, they are constantly dropping pregnant adult ticks. Yeah, and a pregnant tick can release thousands and thousands of new ticks, just one tick. Consider planting deer-resistant floral like lavender, marigolds, or daffodils, or installing physical fencing to keep them out of your main space. Lavender, marigolds, daffodils, there's a good one. If you live near high-risk areas, you can choose spray your yard, perimeter, sunny areas, wood piles, 10 to 20 feet within the wooded edge. Or ticks and must. I'm going to cover some biological stuff here. One of the best things you can use is Wondercide and Cedarcide. Wondercide and Cedarcide are cedar oil based products. Cedar oil is natural. Ticks can't deal with it. You can get it at Tractor Supply. I do have an affiliate marketing link to Tractor Supply. I'd have to dig it up. I should have found it before I did this video tonight. I'll try to post it in the near future. I haven't been promoting Tractor Supply. I just got the affiliate marketing arrangement with them. I'm surprised they haven't dropped me because I'm not promoted, not sold anything through them at all. And usually they drop you when you do that. I've had that for 2 or 3 years. Just as soon as I got it, I was happy. Oh boy, we got Tractor Supply. Everybody loves Tractor Supply. Guess what? That's when Tractor Supply had that what do you call it? Tranny shows. But that was something that was mandated on them because they have controlled interest in Tractor Supply from BlackRock. Larry Fink. Larry Fink was driving that. Now, Larry Fink backed away from that stuff because he got a lot of political backlash. You know, a lot of people think Larry Fink's a great guy today. He promotes Bitcoin and he does this, that, and the other, but he's got something running underneath that isn't so pretty. Look, he's running the House of Klaus. So I don't trust him no further than I could throw a pachyderm, an elephant. So, but Tractor Supply is a place you can get this Wondercide and Cedarcide. Maybe I should start. Well, they haven't done that in a long time. Maybe I should start promoting them now. Both brands utilize natural cedar wood oil, which acts as a powerful neurotoxin to pests like ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes, cause them to dehydrate or die on contact while remaining safe for your family members, your pets. Yeah, it just gets the insects. So you can get this stuff at Tractor Supply. Cedarcide, and it comes in these bottles like this. And you can see when you attach a hose to it and spray. That's not the most efficient way to spray because you're going to waste a lot if you put it to a hose sprayer. It may be a quick and dirty way to do it. But, you know, if you got a big backpack sprayer, that's a lot more effective, more efficient, takes more time, but it's a more efficient use of this stuff. That stuff is not cheap. Look here, $34.99 for Cedarcide. It's not cheap. The other stuff, outdoor bug control. That's more cedar. That's got Cedarcide. So you can read the label on this stuff. Cedarcide outdoor bug concentrate. So there you are. Cedarcide all-purpose bug spray, original bug spray. There you are, guys. There's your Cedarcide. Something called Yard Safe. Yeah, just read the ingredients. If it's all natural, I'm a lot more inclined to want to use it. Now, here's something else we could do. Oh, what is this? My website don't want to come up. Oh, tell me my website's not secure. Yeah, it is. It's my website. All right, when you go to Freedom Restoration Foundation, I tried to get this debug would go down. What's going on with it? Hit reload. Usually I get a thing where I can come in here and click advanced and get into it. Reload. I got to delete Norton. I deleted Norton off my main computer. And I tried to delete, and I had took 3 times to delete it. I've been trying to delete it on this computer too. Norton gives me a lot of problems. Norton basically shut my computer down over. I couldn't do anything on it. And I had already tried to get rid of it. I hate Norton. All right. No, there ain't nothing wrong with that site. If you can go to freedomrestorationfoundation.org and go to the Action Center page and scroll down, there ain't nothing wrong with this website, you stupid piece of junk. There is. How do you tell them to accept it and not let me do it? I got to delete this Norton. It's killing me. Anyway, go to the Action Center page. I've shown it to you guys in the first and scroll down the bottom. It tells you how to contact your Congress critters, the politics. And I would say raise Cain with them about this stupid report written over on the NIH.gov website. And say, hey, this needs to be stopped. This alpha gal syndrome's got to be shut down. And these guys are talking that waggy stuff. As long as you got Republicans in Congress, if this gets to their attention, they hear a lot of voices on it, they're going to do something. But if your liberals come back around who hate meat, you know, might get out their kettle. Why does it keep putting this up here? This piece of junk. I hate this Norton. What if I go to details? Oh, it's acting like I'm not even on the internet. That's what Norton does. I am on the internet. It does weird things. I couldn't even use YouTube on my big computer because Norton would he would come and say I wasn't on the internet, and I was. Norton is terrible. All right, we're going to change this topic a little bit. Y'all might know that there's supposedly a deal that's been negotiated between the United States and Iran, but Trump's not signed it. Not at least not in the last few hours. 50-pound bag of lime, about $10. There you go, Michelle. Or Mitchell Jones. Excuse me, Mitchell Jones. Most insects hate anything that's base. They don't like. They don't like anything that's. They like acidic soil. They do not like anything that is alkaline. And for that reason, I used to put lime in my worm beds. It would totally knock out all the insects and yeast. Now out here, the soil is alkaline. So that may not work out here because we got ants out here that actually live in alkaline soil. So I got to come up with something different for treating those things in my worm beds. But used to, that was my go-to. It would get all the insects out of my beds. Lime. But lime would work. Now, a tick is not an insect. It's in the spider family, an acrid. How you say that? It's they are. Thank you for sharing that site, New Days, folks. Y'all go to that, and usually there's a thing in the bottom that says advanced. You can click on that and get through it. There's nothing wrong with that website. There's no virus on there. I created that website. I built it. There's nothing on there that's going to affect you. That's just stupid. There's some protocol with GoDaddy. I thought I had it straightened out. You got to pay for it. That's all it is. You get a certain certification. It's the HTTPS. It shouldn't be doing that. And I know I paid them for those certifications. For some reason, it's not working there. So I got to go back to them and complain some more. Yes, unreleased. Yes, the radioactive ticks. That was mentioned in one of the videos I played earlier. They mentioned that. Absolutely. And Mitchell Jones, you're right. Lime is cheap. And that's a good thing you can put around your yard. So it's different. Now, if you got the liquid spray, you can spray it underneath the leaves of your shrubs. That's a smart move. If you get cedar oil, it does. Maybe you can make your own cedar oil. So there apparently is a deal cooking, but guys, I didn't make this our top story because this darn story has seesawed back and forth for 2 months. Every day, it's been a different up and down of the seesaw. So I've just not seen it worth the hammer on. Let's see what comes out of it. Maybe they'll make a deal, and it may not be a good deal. Maybe they'll go back to fighting. I say bomb the snot out of them and leave. Anyway, all right, let's do our weather. Earthquakes first. I want y'all to look around here in the West Coast. We got a big one over here off Mexico, about a 5.3. Rivella, I can't pronounce it, the islands. So let's zoom in on some of this stuff. I got to move my pop up here. Let's see, where is the zoomer? Maybe I'll expand this a little bit more. Problem is when I do that, I get my spinning button. Oh, it's over here. Well, these earthquakes out west, just all over the place. Of course, this is one area that gets a lot of them right, almost at the vertex of the Juan de Fuca plate. 3.0. 2.8, Red Bluff, California. Silver Springs, Nevada. Boy, that's a regular, almost every day earthquake. I got an explosion here, 2.5, Prineville, Oregon. I was at that chemical tank that imploded. And we got Snowville, Utah. Got that Snowflake, Arizona. Alamo, Nevada. Johannesburg, California. That's down in Mexico, Baja California. Baja, BC is Baja California, Mexico. Primo, Tapia, I don't know. And sitting by here in New Mexico and Texas, where they're joining White City, lots of earthquakes in White City for some reason. White City, that's up Stanton, Texas. Of course, Alaska got a bunch of stuff, always does. Whoa, the Puerto Ricans aren't dancing tonight. What happened? No dancing in Puerto Rico? Yeah, well, Alaska don't look as bad as usual. ADAC. To look at close to ADAC. Well, come way out. We got this 5.1 Peru. Nothing too big. We got one up here in Turpan, China, 5.3. Nothing too scary tonight. So, space weather. Come on, quick. What is going on? Oh, it went off the screen. I'm starting trying to click on it. Totally went off the screen. What did I do that for? Come on. I hate it when stuff drags like it. Okay, I should be back in view. Nothing too scary on the sun right now. Asteroids, hemorrhoids. Nothing coming between the Earth and the Moon that we can see coming up. That looks good. Of course, as always, after the fact, you find them right when they whiz by. And let's look at something. I'm going to show you guys something else. Because Venus and Jupiter are coming close together by the 8th and 9th of June. So if you're looking in the western sky, I've been photographing these two for a little while. But Mercury's also going to be up. You might actually get to see Mercury. That's a rare treat. That's a rare treat. In fact, can you see Mercury tonight? Yeah, it's going to be real close to the horizon. You may not be able to see it. That's the problem with Mercury. It's always close to the horizon, but that is above the horizon. A lot of times it's just sitting right on the horizon. But here, there's a good chance, maybe one of the better chances to see Mercury. 31st, June 1st. Mercury's starting to come back down a little bit. So maybe the 31st, Sunday night. Yeah, go out Sunday night and look for Mercury. That's a rare treat. See Mercury. Don't use on bear skin or animals. Nat you who makes a terrible POTUS. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's only an explosion. All right, enough of that stuff. I'm gonna stop the share. Kind of go through the chat a lot later than I need to be in bed. It's later than I meant to stay up. Ow, because I gotta get up early in the morning. Hey, hello. I gotta get up early tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a big day with work. Old as dirt. Saw that. Okay, how you doing, old as dirt? Hi, Greg. I just read then listened to a video on ticks, cinnamon, peppermint, and thyme oil. Yeah, that's right. Cinnamon, peppermint, and thyme oil poured together. That's another one. Cinnamon, peppermint, and thyme oil. I've seen that. I've seen that. Wasn't in the stuff I was just pulling up. All right, let's do this. Let's don't use on bare skin. What part of it gets your bare skin? Oh, I gotta have one bear through the night. I gotta get some coffee. It's starting to get. It's got cold on me because I poured this before I did the Galactic Greg's video. Y'all might want to go back and watch my Galactic Greg's channel. I just posted 2 videos there today, including a live stream I just did about the explosion of the Blue Origin New Glenn rocket that just happened at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Oh, it's officially morning here. It's been morning for an hour and 7 minutes. So let me go through the chat room here real quick and see what you guys are saying. I'm going to pull it up on this computer, the one I'm looking directly at. So looking over my shoulder. Somebody asked me why I keep looking to the side for. That's because I got, in fact, Brian asked me that the other night. It's because I got this computer here. That's where I was kind of watching the chat room to see if if somebody gives me a super chat or something, I don't want to miss it. And I will check my phone tonight too. So far, we haven't scored on that accord. Let me go through the chat, see what guys are saying. Case is doing his job. Boo, originally Plum Island. Yeah, Plum Island. That's the name I was trying to think of. Plum Island. You're right. A classy Plum Island. That's where that stuff came from. Gates wants clients. Yeah, I said don't buy any more from him than you have to. Radioactive ticks, right? Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, hit this coffee a little harder here. Matter Mangroves. How you doing? Preparation H. Oh, we got somebody in the house named Preparation H. Oh, Prepper Nation. And that's funny. Prepper Nation H. You almost got me there. In fact, you did for a little bit. Prepper Nation H. That's a good one. All to destroy wildlife and diminish their ability to live off the grid. Yeah, they don't want you living off the grid. They don't want you being independent. They don't want you growing food. They don't want you hunting. That's part of the chronic wasting disease stuff. They really, that's why they're probably turning loose Mexican gray wolves everywhere. They say, oh, it's to restore nature. Well, Mexican gray wolves are bigger than the wolves that live in the Rocky Mountains, and they're wiping out game. They're not living in balance. They're wiping it out. Globalists seeking power. Exactly. Exactly. Matter mangroves. Sound like mangoes? Mangroves. Does the Lone Star drink beer? Lone Star State? I don't think so. Yes, exactly. A class. That's where I was getting. Push us in the 15-minute cities. That's where they want everybody. Then they're a lot easier to control or eliminate because then they got you. Gates has got you in his gates. Sawyer Green, here we come. Oh, Lordy. It's too much land. Greg, I wonder if the praying mantis aliens prefer eating people who eat bugs versus eating people who eat beef. Whoa. Whoa. Ooh. Yikes. Well, you know what? Think about this. You know what? Wow. If you're eating animals, don't you prefer to eat herbivores? Oh, that's scary new days. That's scary. Yeah, maybe the insectoids want us to be herbivores. That is a scary thought. Wow. That is a scary thought. Oh, my chat scroll jumped all the way to the bottom. I'm just getting started. Yeah. Wow, we got a lot of chat in here. Banner Mangrove says, how can NIH or WHO make such conclusions with such small database to work? Amen. Sounds like the BS hype for another thing. Oh, yeah, another little story they dished out at us when they forced everybody to take a jab. And who was behind that? The guy that ran the NIH, Dr. Ouchie. I'm saying too much here tonight. I might be in trouble. I know it's run my hunting season. Won't be going. That's terrible. Game Request TV. I'm in New Jersey. I've never seen ticks as bad. I don't doubt it. It's not natural, guys. Silver Sage. Hi, Mr. Greg. It doesn't surprise me that the blood-sucking elites are using blood-sucking ticks. That fits. Bloodsuckers like bloodsuckers, obviously. We know why and who. WHO, like usual, they all get away with it. Alphabet organizations, all too often. Why? Because the deep state protects their own. And then we get people the audacity to tell us there's no such thing. Oh yeah, wildfires. Hey, there's one other thing. I used to get rid of them off my property. I used to get rid of possums. I used to always get rid of possums. And I discovered something. Possums eat a lot of ticks. Tell you something else that eats a lot of ticks. Guinea fowl. Guinea fowl and possums love to eat ticks. And guinea fowls make a good little alarm systems. Yeah, Billy Goat. That's his name, Billy Goat Gates. I'm a carnivorian. I ain't eating nothing that's got a leaf on it. That's the way I am usually. I do like my meat. And I have gone on pure carnivore diets. That's the best one for you. New Day says Morley sounds like the USDA is involved. After all, the USDA pushes monocyno poisons in there and on our foods. Yes. And I used to be happy because wow, they just put monocyno in plowed fields and regular crops. That means I can go anywhere where there's a pasture and have pure natural gardens. I could tear up the pasture and grow stuff. Then they come out with graze on. So now they cover everything. Thank you for posting my links, New Day, switchwithgreg.com. They want a sick, weak, and controlled Silver Sage bingo, but the allergy doesn't affect the lab-grown meat. Isn't that interesting? That's so true. Like I said, follow the money. Eating lots of garlic helps repel ticks, as does Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. Makes sense. Love my Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. And Wizard, not Wizard, Wizard. In dimethyl metal toluamide. Toluamide. Cedar oil smells wonderful. Actually, it does. It does smell good. And so is peppermint. Propaganda stuff, they're power based. You know, they're throwing out more than propaganda. They're making people sick. It's all part of the control game. That's all the global warming crap was about. Thomas Bishop, yeah, the agenda for 4 years from now. Trying to bring up zombie deer, exactly. Wiser. Mosquitoes, yeah, who's behind mosquito lists? Oh, they will release mosquitoes, but they're not releasing ticks. Oh, we're going to release some mosquitoes, but we're not releasing ticks. And he's talking about having mosquitoes. He's trying to come away. Oh, we're going with mosquitoes that will give you a vaccine. Oh, we're going to invent lettuce that when you eat it gives you a vaccine. Grow your own food. How we got super chat? Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Thank you for the super chat. Salute you, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie Johnson. Appreciate that very much. I think I was going to get one. Grazon's a forever poison. Yeah. I bought a pile of horse manure and they told me they thought it had good organic hay in it. It will grow nothing. You can't even sprout. It's been out in my garden in a pile for a year. I got a pile of soil that I had in my garden. I raked off when I dug it out and put in other stuff. And I got a pile of that stuff. The stuff I raked out of my garden has got lamb's quarters growing up, big, healthy bushes of lamb's quarters. There ain't nothing on that other side. We got another super chat. We got it from Conflict Radio. Hey, Greg, Amy faked her death. No, I don't think so. She now works underground, a secret UFO facility under Green Mountain. She told me to tell you hello. What? She told me to tell you hello. All right, Conflict Radio, where are you located? You know where Green Mountain is. You know something about Huntsville. I do know where Green Mountain is. There's been alleged rumors of underground UFO bases around Huntsville. No kidding. Talk to me, so Conflict Radio. I hope you're telling the truth. I hope you are telling the truth. That would be music to my ears. I'd love to know she's alive. She's a wonderful person. I would love to know that she's alive. And if she went black and hiding out. Give me a way to contact you. Easy. What's the name of my channel? Green Gregs. Everybody don't do this, but because I don't get flooded by email. Greg, Greg at greengregs.com. I'm going to type it in. Greg at greengregs.com. I'll type it in over here. I'll email you my phone number. Oh. Conflict Radio. Do I know you, Conflict? I'm here. It's a delay. Yeah, there is a delay. Conflict Radio, do I know you? Do I know you? You don't have to say who you are. Just tell me if I know you. God, I hope you're telling it. I hope that's true. I really do. I thought the world of her. Great woman. I hope that's true. Rabies, drop pelts. I'm still Asian longhorn tick. Oh, Asian longhorn tick. Love you long time. We love you long time. Oh, We love you a long time. I love you a long time. That's funny. Gosh, I hope she's alive. Possums love ticks. That's right, Plum Island. Hey, don't keep your possums. You saying lunatic, right? Luny or Lone, either one. Luny. Lunatic. Yeah, Billy Goat Gates is a lunatic. I got in PA 3 years in a row, Lyme disease. So I went back to Ohio, but it's here too. Hey, I haven't seen a tick. I haven't seen a single tick here. I'll message you my number. Very good. So conflict rated. Like I said, do I know you? Kathy Humphreys. Well, Lyme hurt my cat. No, it won't hurt your cats to walk through Lyme. No, we never met. Okay. It will not hurt your cats to walk through Lyme. Yeah, I lived in Huntsville for years and years and years. Very active there. The L5 Society, the National Space Society, started at HAL 5 a long time ago. Does post-adventure cleanup include shaving? Oh, I'm not shaving. No, but you do need to look through your hair, just like your hair on your head. You're going to shave your head off. Baby ticks are fast runners, hard to catch. Well, that's true. Fall out of trees and bushes. They do. Boric acid, bar none. Make water and boric acid spray. Okay, good idea. Borax has some of that in it. Swiss Army knife, as I told everyone should have. Amen, mudslinger. Paint them with fingernail polish. Well, I just said don't do it. Was incubation period for alpha gal? Don't know, but once you eat something, Greg, I'm sending you an email right now. Okay. Uh, hang on. Got to load. Once we got loaded, it was open earlier. We got somebody sent something into my thing. Okay, let me check the other. I don't see an email from you yet. Something it hadn't come through yet. Your email's not come through yet. Let me check the junk mail. About 167 series ear clamps. What is that? That can't be you. That's some junk mail. For real. Check my inbox again. Your email's not through yet. I hadn't seen it. Make sure you spelled it right. Greg at the color green. Name Greg's Jerry GS, just like my channel name. That's not come through yet. All right, let's get back to the chat room. I use diatomaceous earth from pull section. It's cheap in the big box. Fleas and snails, I had to stop them. Ate garlic too, and don't have many ticks. I live in the woods. Eating garlic is one of the best things you can do. They like Oilanders here in Arizona. Hey, Silver Sage, how you doing? When I was a kid in Alabama, I would take them off me and my dogs. Yeah, I used to get them all the time when I was a kid. Didn't think nothing about it. Catherine, hey, I just got here. Never know when you are alive. I try to check you every night. Well, thank you for checking. This channel, this platform don't like to give notifications to people. Yes, Fink's a Fink. I got that. That use cedar deodorant. That can't hurt. I saw an edible herbal oil that was promoted for tick control. Ooh, guys, if you find that, keep that in mind, and next time I do a chat, bring it up. Trying to get through the chat here. And just skip the bottom. Hey, all of a sudden, how you doing? Just jump to the bottom. I hate when it does that. If you got a lot of pressure on you, sometimes that's the only way to get out. Silver kaolin is a kaopectate and pepto and is used by the wine industry, meaning that it can buy it by the truckload. Now, what does that do for ticks? Conflict radio, try again. All right, well, I'll go back and check. I'm gonna read I'll check them over here on my messages here now. I'm gonna make this one small. I can get the right place on it. There we go. X. What happened? This one was shrunk too. And then I'm gonna go back to my email. There it is. Well, we know Ning Lee went black before she got hit by the car. Ning Lee was running the secret spaceport beneath Green Mountain. I have heard about something with Green Mountain. She oversaw the anti-gravity program, the spacecraft hangars, the upper. Huh. How much can I read this out loud? I mean, maybe you just don't need to be heard. Tony Rodriguez remote viewing team, and by JP interviews with biological UFOs. There has been some suspect that some of them are biological almost. Personnel down. I'm not sure I'm going to read too much of this because this might be some. I don't want to expose her, get her in trouble. Humans in malaria endemic regions often develop natural antibodies to alpha gal. Interesting. Another parasitic individual. Interesting. IgE antibodies and these IgM antibodies naturally present in people living in malaria zones actually provide partial protection. Interesting. Interesting. Relationship between malaria and alpha gal. Interesting. Okay, conflict radio. I will email you my phone number. Don't call me tonight or in the morning. I'm working tomorrow. I will email you my phone number. We'll talk. Have you seen her? I'm reading it. You mean read it out loud? Have you seen her? I just don't want to get her in any trouble. Well, according to Conflict Radio, you need to email me your name so I know who I'm talking to when we talk. Currently under microwave attack. Yeah, I got a friend here that's running into that too. All right, well, I presented a case in a previous video that the Army had an anti-gravity program. I did present that. Ivermectin is presenting as multiple use for many conditions. Do you think ivermectin works against alpha gal? Should you take it in advance to prevent it? Will it prevent it? I don't know. I had a doctor He was part of one of the frontline doctors who actually prescribed ivermectin to me. A lot of doctors won't prescribe it, but I had it prescribed to me. First time I caught the cerveza bug. He was in Huntsville. And some people said those weren't real doctors. Oh, yeah, they were. Especially the one that I used. What was his name? Started with C. Dr. I can't remember his name right. Callwood, I believe was his name. She's okay with me reading this? So you actually talked to her. I would love to talk with her, just see how she's doing. Michael Conflict. I got a friend in Huntsville named Michael Fear. Michael Conflict, pretty close. All right. You said read it. I've been waiting for you to go live so you can talk to me. Okay, very good. I was just live on Galactic Rigs earlier. If I do not want to expose her and get her in trouble. You've already kind of said she's alive, so that's already out there. According to Michael Conflict, Dr. Ning Lee was running a secret space port beneath Green Mountain. Green Mountain's got a park on it. It's a nice mountain in Huntsville until her death in 2021. She oversaw the anti-gravity program and spacecraft hangars and operational Stargate portal system. After she passed, Amy Eskridge faked her death in 2022 to specifically replace her and take over leadership of the entire facility. The base contains advanced spacecraft hangars, hundreds of anti-gravity craft, and working Stargate. These details were confirmed by Tony Rodriguez' remote viewing team and by JP. Who's JP? In his interviews with Mike Rosella, JP. Who's JP? Was personally visited the facility and reported seeing international pilot training from about 30 nations as part of the Earth Alliance. Brain interface and pilot technology, Nordic assistance and stealth systems that hide all surface activity. Amy's applying her research. Do I need to stop? Oh, he says read the email. Okay. She wants the info out there. Okay. Amy's applying her research on 8 forces of nature, which she's talking about this, and she has the 6th force anti-gravity completely solved, and the 7th force enables energy matter conversion that powers the Stargate portal. The main program at the facility involves biological UFOs. Personnel download their full consciousness through the portal directly into these living craft. I always, even with like implants like Neuralink, you wouldn't have to have instruments. You could mentally interface with a machine with no displays. You wouldn't even need a steering wheel or a brake pedal. You just mentally interface to it. It's been said these devices don't have panels and controls and buttons. It's just clean. That's what you'd expect with that kind of technology, but maybe they're even beyond that, what you're suggesting here. Personnel download their full consciousness through the portal directly in these living craft. The operator does not pilot the UFO. The operator becomes the UFO. The biological craft functions as their new body and responds directly to their thoughts. This is the current operational reality at the Green Mountain base. Well, guys. Well, you heard it first right here. Not on my Galactic Race yet. I'm the same guy. I'm the same guy. This is not for entertainment purposes only, of course. Live action role play. There you go. Yo, YouTube, this is live action role play, folks. Interesting. LARP. Yikes. You know, Rex Bear would use the LARP so you could say things he might not otherwise be able to say. And some other YouTubers, were really attacking Rex over that, claiming he was some kind of agent, blah, blah, blah. I know better. I know Rex. Rex Bear. Anyway, and the lunatic idea. I got that from Diamond over the Oppenheimer Ranch project. I stole that idea from Diamond, so I'll give him credit for it. The lunatic being Bill Gates. So he probably got from somebody else. But anyway, Conflict Radio. Okay, Conflict Radio. I am going to email you my number. Put my name in it. I've been kind of the opinion that Mark Sokol stole her technology from her. I was even wondering if he had something to do with her demise. You got the email. You got my phone number. I just did a reply to your email. All right. We've been on real late. I got to get up in a little bit. And tomorrow's going to be a heavy day for me. The truth is out there. It is. Peppermint Patty, there are individuals that the government or somebody is after, and sometimes they harass them with microwave energy. I know another individual who's experiencing that. My camera's not straight. Tried to straighten it out earlier. The problem is every time I put on the stupid microphone, it gets wonker jobs, still wonker. It's hard to get that thing straight. Every time I take the microphone on off, it knocks it all out of whack. Now I got knocked out of whack the other way. Here we go. So, all right, Conflict Radio, that's interesting. I really hope and pray that Amy is still among us. She's running something great. But why does it have to stay private? Is the technology so dangerous that it's going to destroy us? That's one thing that I worry about. The kind of power that technology might infer could wipe us out. The energy levels are off the charts. So, all right, guys, it's late. I got to get up in a little bit. I mean, literally in a little bit. And I got a little bit of processing to do here. I had a red shirt on when I did the Galactic Dregs video, but I got too hot in it. I was burning up. So I had to put on one of my river shirts. It's cooler. Falcon Labs is a fake CIA organization. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I mentioned Falcon Labs in the video I posted on Galactic Dregs earlier today. But I was one of the other guys who is no longer among us, was associated with Mark Sokol set up Falcon Labs. Greg, how can one determine attack by microwave energy weapons? Some people hear it, but a lot of people get headaches, sometimes nausea. Some of us can actually hear microwave. I can hear it. It will resonate. Certain microwave frequencies resonate with your skull. That's how they do the voice of God, by the way. They put it at a frequency that resonates with your inner ears and skull features, and then they overlay it with amplitude modulation, and it talks to you from within you. It's patents on it. They call it the voice of God. It's scary stuff, guys. Scary stuff. We've been on for 109 minutes. We'll get more people watching now. Probably because we're later. People did come on later. Falcon Labs is a fake CIA organization. I would not doubt that for 1 second. Mark Sokol gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. Is he CIA? Amy had a bad track record picking guys they sent to her for her boyfriend. She would pick one after another. They would come to her and flirt with her and get her comfortable. And then they were the problem. She's talking about that in that video with Mark Sokol and Jeremy Rice. It's funny how Jeremy edited any conversation he had out of that video. It's true. Talk about the wormholes. Why do you think Elon always talked about going to Mars? You know about teleportation. Oh, I don't know, Kathy. If we got that's some scary stuff to be in a war. A lot of us stuck playing with rockets. Holy bag of popcorn. Power levels aren't that high. They don't have to be that high to mess with you. Oh, a bag of popcorn. That would be some serious part. Now you'd feel the heating then. It's not usually going to be higher enough that you're going to feel the heating, but it can still mess with you. That's that Havana syndrome. That's what it boils down to. Just look up Havana syndrome and symptoms for it. That's probably the best way to do it. Oh, bag of popcorn. Let's be microwave here. No, I know of a family that's having issues with this. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to name her. Stargate would be teleportation. If you can warp space-time, you'd have to have a receiving Stargate on the other side. You couldn't just have one. You can't just beam in and out like Star Trek. They use downshifted resonance frequency. I don't know where. Interesting. A lot of mysteries, my friends. I'm going to tell you something. Look at that stuff you see people seen flying around the skies that they got video of, military FLIR video and radar contact of. Sometimes that stuff just poof, it's there, and poof, it's not. Interdimensional. And things will just go poof into someone's bedroom and poof, it's out. It might carry you with you. Gotta watch it. Oh, yeah, by the way, you ever seen the movie Fire in the Sky about the guy that got abducted? He lives in Snowflake, Arizona, really close to me. Yeah, we're getting off the. This is a Green Rig, Galactic Rigs topic area now. So interesting stuff. All right, guys, I got to get up. I got to get up really soon. I'm not going to sleep tonight, hardly. All right, Michael Conflict. I look forward to chatting with you sometime. Text me first. My ringer on my phone is almost always turned off because I do videos and I have meetings. And a lot of times I just forget to turn it back on. My ringer on my phone is almost always off and all notifications are turned off. So I don't know when somebody texts me or sends me something on Facebook or through like Telegram, all these other things. I don't know when I get these messages. I only want to look later to check them. Do I know that? So if I don't respond immediately, don't be surprised. Also, I get hammered by tons of people sending me 80 hours worth of content to watch every day. It's like humanly impossible. Not to mention I'm exceedingly busy. So I don't watch a lot of the videos people send me. I just can't too much. I catch a little bit, but I'm not a guy who really watches videos unless I'm eating. Because then I can't be reading. I'm an article reader. I read articles. Thanks for covering the ticks. New Days, you inspired it. So everybody thank New Days for inspiring me to do this topic tonight. Old as dirt. Take care, Greg, and stay safe. Yeah, good night, everybody. Amen. New Days inspired this program. So everybody thank New Days for that. This was her idea. Don't tell me I don't listen. I do. I do listen. But so we'll give credit the New Days for this program tonight. Absolutely. This was her inspiration. She told me about her contact with these USDA pilots and her suspicion on it. That was her idea. She inspired it. So credit to her. Ticks was great. Good to know. There you go. That's right. Got a lot of good life advice. I'm getting a phone call from somebody right now. Yeah. It's an Alabama number. I don't take calls when I'm live online, guys. I don't take calls when I'm live. That's just one of my protocols. I don't do it. Conflict Radio, is that you calling me or is it somebody else in the channel? Somebody was calling me from Alabama. It's an Alabama number. All righty, folks, we got to go. I got to go to bed because I'm going to be up here in a little bit. I haven't been to bed yet. A lot of you guys have already been to bed and got up. I haven't got to bed yet. And I got a big work day tomorrow. It starts early, and it's already early. Been on a lot later than I meant to be, but we just had quite a conversation tonight. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, Super Chatters. Appreciate that tonight. Carrie, Michael Conflict, and no, let me check here real quick. I always like to check see if anybody sent me a donation by my website before we go. Got a couple of people that do it sometimes. Classy's sending me some stuff. Oh, plantain. Oh yeah, plantain is good for bug bites. I have found some plantain here locally. Not on my property, but used to grow all over my place in Alabama, broadleaf and narrowleaf. All right, well. Yeah, plantain's good for bee stings, ticks, and snake bites. Now, I've covered plantain, I think, in some of my videos in the past, way back. Good night from Booger Town. There you go. Booger Town. Love it. Yes. Oh, yeah. You've been in my channel for a long time. You used to have a different name. That's why people all over towns. If you like boogers, you'll love Booger Town, USA. From the Bargain Town commercial. I used to say that. You've been on with me for years here. Oh, it was you. Okay, very good. All right, we'll talk tomorrow. I'm glad to know it was you. We'll talk tomorrow. At least I know I got your name now. We'll talk tomorrow. Well, it may not show. Yeah, it shows your name when it pops up, but it probably won't show in the call registry. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right, very good. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I won't call you back tonight. So, all right, you got me. You got the right number. Folks, I got to go. It's late. I'm dying. Been drinking coffee. I got to get up a little bit. I got to be mentally acute tomorrow. I've got some very high level things to do with work. So I have got to call it a night just to survive. So thank you. I don't want to lose my new job. Hopefully I won't. Anyway, again, thank you, Super Chatters. Thank you, mods, for keeping the channel clean. New Days, I thank you for sharing the links. And for our topic tonight, thank you, New Days. Appreciate that. Sunrise soon. It's going to be sunrise here in a couple hours. Geez, my rooster's about to start crowing. If I don't go to bed before he starts crowing, I ain't going to get no sleep. Well, thank you. Thank you, New Days. Thank you. Thank you so much for the inspiration for tonight's show. I need to get her on directly. She's got a lot of good information. Anyway, to one and all, good night, good day, wherever you are. Ho, ho, ho.